And another episode of the Legion of Raw, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Chris Featherstone. I'm with my man, the greatest tag team of all time, ever lace a pair of boots. He is Road Warrior Animal. How are you tonight, sir?
Chris, how you doing, bro? Another Monday down in the books.
That's right, man. We saw some very interesting ending. We'll talk about that in a minute. Braun Strowman coming to Raw via Raw Underground. Lots to talk about tonight. Dolph Ziggler commentating, the utility guy, as we call him every. We didn't even know commentating was an option, but
no kidding.
The utility guy. Oh, let's just throw him in the commentating booth.
What are we gonna do today? Throw Dolph in there.
Right. Every week it's just something different, so we'll get into all of that, man. So we'll start off with Drew McIntyre cutting the in-ring promo. He gets interrupted by Adam Pearce. So here's the thing, man. They kind of cut the commissioner role out a couple years back when they were trying to do the new era or whatever whatever era Triple H was trying to promote it. So they cut all the general managers. But Adam Pearce has kind of been playing they've called him an official. MVP called him a high-ranking official today. But he's kind of been playing the GM role on both brands, and I kind of like it, man. I think it's a good spot for Adam Pearce.
Yeah, man. It gives a little bit of an authoritative figure, which the wrestling business is missing right now. So I think it fits in. I don't know if he's the right guy for the job, but I tell you, he does a great job on it, though. He looks very official.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a guy that works behind the scenes in the back, and then he just gets thrown on camera.
Yep.
And, so he fits that role perfect.
Yep, I agree. Special shout out to the fans. Chad saying hi, Kevin saying hi, Peter saying hi.
Yeah,
Ronnie
what's up, people? What's up, fans? Man, I tell you, the Road Warriors and LOD and wrestling in general have got some of the greatest fans in the world. I say that all the time, man. So I like to thank those. And hey, I want to thank everybody out there for all the birthday wishes on Saturday.
Man. 60, man.
Yeah, man. My wife, God bless her, Kim. She went above and beyond and surprised the heck out of me, man. Had my family driving in from Dayton, Ohio, and my grandkids. So, man, she just went above and beyond. Then she also, as you know, probably got 50 guys and girls to do a little video deal saying happy birthday, Joe, which is cool to me, man, because no one's ever stepped up and done anything like that for me before. Usually somebody wants something from me. Nobody ever gives me anything. So it was very refreshing, man. I love her to death, and she did a great job.
Nice. Did you see mine?
Oh, yeah. I saw everything, man.
Nice.
It was all good, brother. Thank you very much, man, for doing that.
Yeah.
Hey, since we're at the top of the show, as you can see, fans, I got just a gray star spangled banner on my forehead.
Mm-hmm.
People get offended when I wore my Trump hat, I guess. And, sorry, fans out there, don't get your panties in a bunch. It's a hat. And don't mean I'm Donald Trump. Don't mean I'm Joe Biden. It's a hat. My grandson gave me the hat. It said, okay with you. I put it on and wore it that day. You know what I mean? I do like Trump, and I am a Republican, but it was a hat. So not to offend anybody, I won't wear it anymore. I'll be gender neutral. Oh man, I just want to get that out there, man. Listen, we're out here to appease everybody, and our show and our business is about the fans. So you got to keep the fans happy, man. So there you go, fans. Just for you, this bud's for you.
Right? What a rush.
What a rush.
Nice. Mike, Craig is coming, checking in from Newfoundland, Canada.
All right. Yeah, man. You ever been up to Newfoundland?
I haven't. I've been never been to Canada. Actually, you know what? My wife and I, a few years ago, we went to Buffalo, New York. We had a boat ride around Buffalo. And technically, we went to because the part of the territory that they rode over was Canadian waters. So technically, I've been to Canada without getting.
Did you do the Niagara Falls thing?
Yep.
Of course. Well, then half the Niagara Falls is in Canada. So
exactly.
You're right there. Yeah. I've been up there too many times. I know exactly what you're talking about, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but I tell you what, man. One of the most beautiful places on this earth is Prince Edward Island.
Oh,
It's
nice.
not far from Newfoundland, but it's on the far right side of Canada. You're right on the ocean.
Mhm.
Man, you see bald eagles flying around there like pigeons. I mean, there's hundreds of them all over the place. I got to play in a golf tournament up there, man. I met, think of this, of all people, Larry Holmes.
Oh, nice.
Larry Holmes and I had dinner together, man. It was great. What a great guy. Awesome. Yeah, man. And a lot of other great athletes up there, man. It's all good. It was for good. It's for a boys club, boys club charity. Yeah, with charity golf tournament, man. So it's pretty good. Most of the guys up there, of course, being in Canada, were hockey Hall of Famers. You know, like Guy Lafleur and guys like that, man. So there's a lot of hockey Hall of Famers up there. It was good, man. It was fun.
Lots of check-ins tonight. Chad says, happy late birthday.
Yeah, thanks, Chad. What's up?
Kevin's from Austin, Texas, originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. That's about 2 hours south of me. Sports Kid enthusiasts. Yep. Eric says, Rudder Rush. Brendan's from the UK. Nice.
Oh, there you go, man. He's up late, Brendan. What are you doing? You're
right.
Like
it's like
6 hours ahead.
Yeah, it's
5 hours ahead, right? Yeah.
It's like 4 in the morning. Quarter after 4 in the morning. Well, we appreciate you, Brendan, staying up late for us, man.
Yeah, man. Give a shout out to all the people in the UK.
That's right. Bob's from Menomonee, Wisconsin. Victor's from
bro, what did you just say right there? Pronounce that again.
Menomonee. Menominee. Okay, guys.
Menominee.
Phonetically not.
And who's got the doctorate degree here? Right?
Hey,
that just goes to show you I traveled this earth too much, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? So so funny. I have not. I've been to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but here's the funny part. I know every single state capital though. So.
You got me there. I don't know anything.
All 50 capitals. I know all the states.
Well, you know, when I started in the wrestling business, when Hawk and I were first starting out together, we did 1 week in the Georgia Championship area, and then when Georgia Championship area went on the road, we spent 1 week in the Ohio Valley. So every other Saturday, we flew into Columbus, got a rental car, and drove. Yeah, man, I drove all the way up, around the Huntington, West Virginia, Wheeling, West Virginia, and then go up to Cleveland and across to Toledo and then down by Cincinnati and then back to Columbus. We would do the whole loop.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, Ohio's got great wrestling fans.
Oh, yeah.
Great sports fans in general.
Yeah, absolutely. 100. Well, Buckeyes. Well, your son would know that.
Oh, heck yeah. Absolutely. I damn near lived on High Street for 4 years. So.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, have you ever gone to eat to Eddie George's?
Oh yeah, delicious food.
Is that not great food or what? Right, what a nice place. Food.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I been in Columbus all my life. I live in suburban Columbus now. I got the doctor money now, so I live in the suburbs of Columbus, Ohio.
Oh yeah. Well, James out there in Dublin.
Yeah, he lives in the suburb. Yep, I live in a suburb about 20 minutes outside of downtown Columbus.
Awesome, man. Yeah.
Victor's from Miami. Cool check-ins tonight, guys. Doris from Toronto.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Toronto, been up there. Maple Leaf country.
Sheboygan Falls.
Yeah, there you go.
Stanley's from West Virginia. James from Leesburg, Florida. Nice. All around the world, guys.
Spread them all over the place today. That's awesome, man. That's great.
Yeah, it is.
Tune in every Monday.
That's right. Absolutely. From all the way from Wisconsin to the UK. We got it all.
People are tuning in to hear all the good stuff and all the crappy stuff about WWE.
Exactly. So. Absolutely. Okay. All right, so let's get into the Street Profits. Going against Cesaro and Nakamura. So there were some rumors, that this might be a kind of a unification, but I'm glad it wasn't though, because to me it's like the tag team division isn't strong at all, but I just don't want SmackDown to kind of be without because right now I think if you don't have Cesaro and Shinsuke as champs, it really puts them. I don't really like them as champs because they really look like just two people put together. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like when they don't win the championships, when they lose the titles, I can see both of them just tanking, just going nowhere.
Yeah, it's going to be, and I think the only one you could rebuild would be Shinsuke. Shinsuke's a good USA. He was a good US champ. When he and Daniel Bryan had that good feud, I thought it was really great. I don't know why they would hide him and put him in a tag anyway. To be quite honest,
I agree.
He's all even Cesaro's a better singles wrestler than a tag. Unless you put him back with Sheamus.
The bar was good.
Yeah, the bar, I loved it because I don't like Sheamus's character right now as well either, So put them back together, man. Don't fix it. The bar wasn't broken. Why even change it? Just go back to what was working at the beginning.
Yep, agreed. Next, we have Cedric Alexander defeating Ricochet. I think this was good for Cedric. I think it was good that he picked up the win. That lumbar check looked vicious.
Bro, did you see the bump that Ricochet cut?
Ricochet sold that really good.
Man, he bounced about 4 feet in the air and did that triple Indy twist. You look, it was great. The only thing that I didn't like about it, right? Here you are, you're in the Hurt business. And I know it was Shelton's job to stay by the ring because that was his part in the match. But when they came down, the guy from the Viking Raiders guy came down and was fighting with Bobby outside. Yeah, listen, that's your partner, that's your brother, man, that's your fighting partner. Get over there and help him.
That's right.
You don't let Bobby just fight all the way back by himself, really slow because he was on camera.
Yeah,
and Shelton just on the other side of the ring, standing there next to the MVP. And I'm going, what the heck? Did somebody not tell him that his partner's getting jumped outside the ring? So that was the only thing. You see, it's like I always say, Chris, when everybody says, oh, that's just a little thing. No, man, nothing's a little thing. They're all big things when the eye, it's like in football. The eye in the sky don't lie. When the guy says, no, I made that blocker. Really? What is this? What did the tape say? No, you missed him by a mile, right? Same with wrestling. If you don't take care of all the particulars, it ends up being like it was. I agree because I think at the end of the day, one botch or one bad move can really kill the whole segment. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, man. And right now the Hurt Business is the hottest heel team in the company, right? They're the hottest heel team, so you gotta let them leave with good steam, I believe. And besides that, the Viking Raider and Bobby is a worthless match anyway. It means nothing.
Yeah.
It's just, I know it's a filler for the pay-per-view, but it means nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that there was, a storyline, to lead up to it. I think to really make Cedric, to make Cedric a better, just kind of help his character a bit. I think they should have saved this for the pay-per-view, at least like the kickoff match, to have a bigger platform. To me, I know the Clash of Champions is, the point is all the titles on the line. But I would even, this is what I would even do. I would have Cedric, win the 24/7 championship, and then have Ricochet, go for the 24/7 championship or something like that, because I think you just kind of have to create Cedric's character better, because even like you said, even the little stuff, like he was interrupted by Ricochet and Apollo Crews. You just really can't afford to do that as a newly minted heel. You know what I mean? Like,
because what you're doing now, you're giving them
a promo and just say, okay, we're just going to interrupt your promo, and that just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, because you bury the guy. You bury the guy, right? And it's the same right now. Even though he's getting a couple wins and a couple good wins, you know why he's getting the wins. Everybody in the country knows because he's going to lose. Clash of Champions, right? So, you're right. I think that would be a good little angle. Let him win the 24/7 title, then have Ricochet take it at the Clash, because it'll be a title match. It'll be the first match. Yep. It'd be a good opening match for the fans. It's exciting. They both do a lot of good stuff, Yep. Then you can just roll on from there.
I agree. Definitely agree. So we get a Retribution interrupted with another promo after this match. And so, they picked just the weirdest people to interfere. It's like, the Hurt Business, they're heels. You want to make them heels. You have to protect. I said this before, our first show. You have to protect the babyface and heel dynamic. Yeah. You have Retribution coming in as heels, and they interrupt heels. And then we'll get to the Aleister Black piece too. like you're interrupting heels. You got to protect your characters, and so they interrupt. They cut another promo, and then a bunch of them come together, and it's just.
You know, you got to wonder if they're sitting around the table doing the TV booking, right? And they're going, all right, then this segment here, we got this time slot to fill. Hey, what's Retribution doing? Hey, let's just throw Retribution. That's what it's like. It's like they're grabbing for straws out of thin air. Oh, we grab Retribution. Get over here. Yeah. We're paying you guys. Let's get you on TV. Yeah. You know, and besides that, you know, the big tall guy, the way he has his voice sounds really cool when he does the promo. I mean, he sounds cool. I like the synthesizer involved, and it sounds really good, right? The only reason I know what it is because I did that at Paisley Prince's place when I redid the mix of Iron Man. I went on there and said, you know, we are Iron Man, you know, so I did that. So I know what they have to do. Yeah. But just the whole premise of it, there's not guys like built like Bobby Lashley dressed up in black stuff.
Right.
There are a bunch of job guys that got or beginners that got fired or not even working anymore that, you know, or bottom line NXT guys that are running the show here. You know, and that's it's really kind of disappointing unless they throw a twist and we see there's a top guy under there somewhere. Like, you know, I can't even think of a good name who would be back there to do that. To be honest with you, not an NXT. It's not going to be a major WWE talent. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But you know, it's one of those things, man. I think it's something that doesn't need to be done.
Yeah.
What purpose is it serving? You, like we said, you confuse the people. When the lights start flickering, they think it's going to be Bray Wyatt. And then all of a sudden the Retribution, that's why they started writing the Retribution words all over the screens, because now people get it and they can do it. But why would you do something that is so similar to The Fiend? I don't understand that.
Yeah, and the thing is, it just seems like a knockoff Nexus to me. Because, like, the thing is with the Nexus, like, they were, like, ex-NXT guys who were coming, you know, to kind of raise war, right? And so that was kind of like the same promo we heard today, you know, and it's clear that Dominik Dijakovic is the taller guy. But even with him as a leader, though, I like Dijak. I've had him on my show before. Nice guy. But I just think that's just a weird spot to put him in as a leadership role. You know,
I thought I've seen him wrestle on NXT before. I thought he's done really decent work. You know, that he's got a good base to him. You know, I don't know what, man. I don't know. Maybe it's something to keep those guys employed instead of firing them and putting some of these guys on layaway. You know what I mean? Maybe maybe that's their way of doing it. That's how they could, they could figure, hey, we're not spending bad money after good money after bad money, So maybe that's just the way they're going about it. But I don't know, man. I just think it's one of those things that you just don't need. I mean, because there's nothing going on today with any kind of protest or anything that is positive. There's nothing good going on like that in the world today, especially just after the two cops just got shot right in the face. One girl got shot in the face and the other one got shot all over. I mean, for what? I mean, what? There's nothing good out of anything to do with the Retribution right now. I don't think. Yep.
I totally understand that. So, man, this segment was really tough for me. I love Asuka. I'm a big supporter of Mickie James. But that was a botch fest, man. I mean, just the spin kick that just didn't even.
The spin kick that never was
right.
And Asuka sold it like she got hit.
Exactly.
Like she got hit in the head with a cannon.
Yeah,
and she didn't even get touched. Yeah, man. And the thing is, Mickie is a much better worker than that, and so is Asuka.
Definitely.
So is Asuka. I think that people. I don't know about you, Chris, but I was totally lost in the finish. And I usually can grasp onto any finish. It was like, I didn't see any tapping or nothing. It was done.
Yeah. And I don't think that was on purpose either.
No, maybe. I wonder if she really got hurt.
She might have. It seemed like maybe she got choked out a bit. You know what I mean? Perhaps, because she was kind of like leaned over a weird way and maybe she got choked out. There was a time where she didn't really tap, but she was kind of trying to get her bearings. So maybe the ref thought that was a tap. But you know how it is, man. I mean, Nick Patrick's a good friend of mine. Marty Elias is a good friend of mine. I've interviewed Jack Doan. I know how the calls go. You know what I mean? So they have the earpiece from the truck, and if it was supposed to be the finish, they would have made it look a lot better than that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That wasn't supposed to be the finish. I know that from sitting here. Yeah. But I tell you what, though, I don't know about you, but the whole time, if I were the boss, Shayna and Nia would not say a word. They are horrible on the mic.
I agree. Yeah, they're talking
horrible.
Yeah,
it's not even. I mean, Nia sounds like a Valley girl in a Samoan body talking on the microphone. I mean, seriously, it does. And she's too big, and they're both too big, and they're too badass to be talking on the mic like that.
Yeah,
they. I tell you what would be good. Now, this is reaching out there. What I would do is I would have them join the Hurt Business.
I was thinking that, I was thinking that, but I think I might.
MVP would be great talking for him.
Yeah, I thought
he
would
put them over like $1 million, man.
I thought about that, but I was like, you know what? You kind of don't want to NWO it. You know what I mean? It just you know, you don't want to overdo it.
But then you got to find a big bad girl that could do it and that can talk.
Yeah,
I mean, when you think about it now, I'm trying to think of the whole.
Maybe Paige.
Paige could do it. Paige is good on the mic. Paige is probably. You're right. Paige is probably the best female voice out there. I mean, that's the only one I would use. Now, Paige could say, "Hey, man, I took this girl to the top. I took the Riot Squad to the top." Wasn't Paige with?
What about Zelina Vega?
Yeah. Well, no. I think she's been abused.
Really?
I just think
like she's broke up with Angel and what's his Andrade.
Yeah, but I think that she's just been there too long, and and really kind of like with no purpose for such a long time.
Yeah. And
I don't know if how tough can a 4'2" little girl be.
Yeah,
I mean, seriously, she's tiny.
Yeah,
I mean, in heels, she was shorter than Asuka.
Yeah,
I mean, and Asuka's only 5'2".
Man, I really don't know because I don't think Lana would be a good fit either.
No. Lana's in the middle of doing jobs with Natty right now. So I mean, there's talk about another finish.
Yeah,
they literally hit Lana with one move, and she's out cold.
I kind of think that I kind of think that there was a reasoning behind it. We'll get to it as far as my theory behind.
Oh yeah. There you go. Really, here, give this one the mural.
Yeah.
That's your reasoning right there.
Exactly.
Oh, really? Your husband got a good pop? We'll hear it. See what he thinks about this. Cheer about this.
That's exactly my theory.
Oh, sure. It's exactly what it was.
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
We'll get to it a little bit more in depth because exactly. All right, next we have Zelina Vega coming out and cutting a promo on Asuka. So it looks like they're going to do Zelina versus Asuka. Now it's weird that you're managing a losing tag team and all of a sudden you're getting thrust into the Raw Women's title picture,
bro. And this is where I think that they don't think when they do this thing and they say they reach up in the air reaching for straws. How does she deserve to get a championship match in front of all the other girls?
She doesn't.
Out of all the girls over Peyton, Royce, and all these other girls, she gets the title match.
Yeah. She's
not been in the ring. She's a manager.
Yeah.
Now I can see if she was wrestling and working her way up a little bit, fine. I was sitting there thinking while you were talking about that when you mentioned her name, she might not be bad. If Paige didn't want to do it, it might look okay to have a little girl managing two giant girls.
Exactly. That's the reason what I was thinking. Like she's the smaller version because like you see the Heenans and the Slick was taller, but he was still still puny in body wise. Teddy Long. Usually they were smaller and they made it helped. Heenan. All the people managed, Heenan would come out first, You got Rude taller than them in the back, Andre taller than them in the back. You know, made them look like a big Goliath. And just I think those little nuances help too from back in the day, because they don't do that anymore. The manager usually comes behind the wrestler. Back in the day, the manager would come in front of the wrestler.
Yeah, Ellering was always in front of us.
Yeah, because it made them look like, it made you guys tower over them, look like giants. You know what I mean?
I would if she did that though. Although let me say, she looks great. Let's just put it out there. She looks great. The stuff she wears looks awesome too. But I would have her change what she's dressing going out there if she did go with Nia and the other girls. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna get so much flack when you got this hot babe with you. You got these two giants in front of you. Right. So I would do something a little bit more athletic, or do something almost direct opposites, like. I don't know how to put this, but not be a pom-pom cheerleader girl, but be more of a different kind of role like that with two killers, because you're going to have to change it up a little bit. She just can't stand off in the sidelines like she did with Andrade and those guys, because it kind of buried them a little bit. And the girl could talk too. She's good on the mic. I think she could pull it off. But hey, she got
give Nia and Shayna some face paint.
Bro, you know what? You see, it sounds funny, but what if they did?
I'm serious. Yeah, I think it sounds funny, but I'm like, give them some face paint. Yeah.
Why not have them paint up and like Shayna's trying to learn Nia's culture and have them do like the Uso thing, half the face.
Yeah,
like the Usos, because the Usos aren't painting no more, right?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you have them maybe do half the face? Hey, Nia, they should do a whole storyline about how Nia's going back to her roots, going back to the heritage, to King Peter Maivia, which if she's related to Rock, that's Rock's great grandfather. Go back all the way, and then they come out like that. Even learn a little bit of that Samoan dance that Rock used to do every now and then, and throw that in there. And I think, if you have, Shayna convert over like she's really caring, and then have Nia do the same thing when they're working out in Shayna's world, in the Ultimate Fighting world too, right? Yeah. So, but I agree with you, man. I agree with you, the face paint. I would have Nia paint up and hers half Samoan, and have Shayna pick out the paint that she wants to use, and that might work.
Oh yeah, man! I like it. I like the paint. I like it. I really do.
Girls are painting except for Asuka.
Yeah, and she's not. She's just kind of doing the green type of
like teardrops coming down.
So no one's painting. She's just using just some just kind of enhancements for a character, but just not. But not face paint. So
and you also could do, if they really wanted to stretch matches out, paint versus paint at the very end.
Okay.
Asuka gets, if Kairi Sane comes back, or Asuka whatever, Asuka gets another partner or whatever, or they start doing tags, paint versus paint tag match. You don't even have to have the title involved, Chris.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're not wasting a title match.
Right. Yeah. That's pretty cool. So next we get to Bobby Lashley defeating Eric from the Viking Raiders. What in the world are they doing with the Viking Raiders, man?
They're just chewing them up right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
They did. If you think about it, they did the same thing with AOP.
Oh yeah, and they got tossed, unfortunately.
One guy gets hurt, right? Then look what happens.
Yeah.
If any team they should have kept, they should have kept AOP.
Oh, totally agree.
They looked tough. They were badass. They needed a little bit of help on the mic, but why not throw Paul Heyman with them?
Oh, yeah.
Or Selena Vega, a little girl with two giant killers. Are you kidding? Then, I honestly really at first thought they missed the boat getting rid of Ellering.
Agreed.
Ellering
was great.
That look was so good because Paul is such a good mic guy.
Yeah.
But,
and he didn't have to say much. He just kind of ordered them to the ring. You know what I mean? I loved it. Yeah.
Well, that's what he did with Hawk and I. He just did a little like that with that Wall Street Journal. We were gone. He didn't have to say anything.
Yeah, I loved it. It was, it was one of those things that. I love Ellering because he's such a legendary, manager. And it was one of those things that I was a bit cautious, but it didn't take me long at all to kind of adapt to Ellering with AOP because it made sense of AOP using Ellering, the rub, his rub to get over. And it didn't take them long at all. They look like a legitimate threat of a tag team. I would say because of Ellering.
If you think about it, Ellering's shtick was, I've only managed 2 teams.
Yeah.
One owned the wrestling business for 30 years. The other ones are new. I mean, and it made sense to the fan. That's the main thing. As long as it makes sense to the fan.
Yeah. And it fit the Ellering role of 2 monsters too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's his role. He's managing 2 monsters.
Because Paul, because his gimmick was a stock market guy, right? And if it's not broke, don't uninvest your money. And if your money's making money, don't worry about it. Don't fix it. Same with tag teams. He's got a formula that's working, and he just adapted it to his new team.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked.
Agreed. Kevin said they dropped the ball with the Ascension too. Totally.
Yeah, they did, man. I got to meet the Ascension.
Mm-hmm.
I think I told you that. I was doing a thing for Gimmickry Entertainment, my buddy Charlie Hartman Armstrong, and I go in the hallway and I met the Ascension. Man, they were the biggest Road Warrior fans. And they were telling me that a lot of the stuff that they were told to say and promos and stuff regarding Hawk and I, they're going, oh, man, God, I don't want to say that about the Road Warriors. It's a kiss of death. And they were right. Usually that's what happens in the wrestling business, man. When your first instincts when you're a performer, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Mm-hmm. If it does feel right, do it. You know what I'm saying? It's a double-edged sword because it's like when you're playing on a game show and they say, always go with your first answer.
Yep.
Whether it's The Price is Right or whatever it is, but Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Go with your first answer. That's usually right. This is one of those situations.
Yeah, I agree.
They're good guys. They were very respectful when I met them, man. We took a picture. It was Andrew Anderson, myself, and the Ascension, and Ellering took a picture together. And they were really great guys, man. I was really glad I got to meet them, and I'll be seeing them down the road here doing appearances with other companies.
Nice. Hopefully we can have them on the show as a special guest.
Hey, man, anytime, man. They would love to come on here. Of course they would. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Get to tell old WWE stories.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Next we get Seth Rollins defeating Dominic Mysterio in his cage match. I think we're seeing too much of Dominik, and I think we're seeing too much of Dominik taking the job. I don't like it.
Bro, you hit the nail right on the head with me. Yeah. You can't put the kid on TV every week. If you're gonna put him on the TV every week, give him a clean win against somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Why does he have to be with Seth? Let him get a clean win, then let Seth hit the ring. Same result, right?
Yep.
Same result. When you have him in there, come on. Does Dominic Mysterio really deserve a cage match on TV on Raw? No. That is a pay-per-view event match.
Correct.
Why are you giving it to him on TV?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense to give it. I don't care what the storyline is. You don't give him that thing on TV. Not now. Not to a newbie. He's a new guy.
And how many angles can Seth beat Dominik at this point? I mean, like how many
Dominic? Yeah, he may get lucky once in a while and pull one off on Seth. Maybe once in a while.
Yeah,
but you're not going to beat the top heel in the company.
Yeah,
that's why he's the top heel in the company, because he can keep that heat.
I think you just can't have him keep losing though. I like the fact that he beat Murphy last week. That was cool. I liked how they did that. But I mean, if you're building up toward Dominik and Seth, like he's beat him like 3 or 4 times already now. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing, there's nothing left.
Even the match and beat Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
You could have set it up that Murphy could have just been being a real jerk in the match, and all of a sudden Dominik gets to make this comeback. Murphy stops him. Now Murphy's got the kendo sticks, going to set it up or something. And Ray goes to hit Murphy or something, and Murphy actually ducks out and he hits Dominik by accident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then Dominik gets beat. He gets beat by an outside interference, getting beat, not getting beat straight 1, 2, 3 by getting stomped in the back of the head and all that stuff, because that does nothing for him.
Yeah.
I agree with you there, man. Got beat way too early. He's in all these matches way too early.
Yeah. The legions of Raw has spoken. Chad feels like it's too soon. Dale feels like the feud needs to end. Dan agrees. Yeah, getting old quick. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was good when you got a new guy to push for once or twice or 3 times, but it's every week for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And you can't do that, but this is, we talk about this all the time. Sometimes WWE gets in this panic mode.
Mm-hmm.
And when something goes with it, they get a good fan reaction. They kind of like shove it down their throat for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And listen, not that Dominic's not going to be a top performer in that company. He's going to be there for the next 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Either there or Lucha Underground or somewhere. He's got plenty of places he can go. Hell, for the other company, he can go there too, like everybody else is going, where Miro and everybody else went too. I mean, so there's going to be places where he can wrestle because he's got that name, he's got that lineage.
Mm-hmm.
But why? You're right, man. There's no reason to have him on there week after week after week.
Yeah, you just don't do that, especially if you're trying to build his character too as a baby face. And he's really impressive. He has passed every test to me. He looks really good for someone who's only been wrestling full time for a month.
Yeah,
he looks like he's been wrestling for years.
You keep putting him these kind of matches now. He's going to look like he's wrestled 10 years in in another 2 weeks because his body's going to feel like it.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, see, here's what I would do with him. I would be doing a whole big video montage and him at home. Him at home with mom, him at home with dad, him at home with sister, with the dog, whatever, down there in San Diego. And I would do, hey, how does he interact? There's no more video clips like that anymore. A behind the scenes clip.
Yeah.
Let's see what makes Dominic Mysterio.
Yep.
What did his dad instill in him to have for the intestinal fortitude for wrestling? And you do a whole thing like that where the people really want to see that. I learned that a lot when I did the Dark Side of the Ring.
Mm-hmm.
People ask me all the time, every day, man, Adam, was that really the way it was like? Well, yeah, that's why I did the show.
Yeah.
It's all true stuff, and I wish I would have done it earlier in my career because we were so protective of everything. We didn't do that. I wish they would have done stuff more like that in our career for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It would be an interesting angle if, Mama Mysterio, Ray's wife, if she was like kind of kneeled down checking on Dominik, and then somehow Seth like turns around and sees that that's like ripe for the picking to do a curb stomp, and the lights go off, or it goes to commercial or something like that, and then you come back and she's laid out. So there's a perception of she actually took a curb stop.
Yeah.
And that causes Dominik to nurse her for the next, couple months, at home.
Sure.
That's
not a bad idea. I like that.
Yeah. That's when the vignettes come at home, with Dominik saying, this is what you did to my mom, put her in a neck brace,
the whole 9 yards. He's waiting for making her meals and all the sorts of stuff back in the house.
Yeah.
I would do that. Nothing like that's done anymore in the wrestling business. Nothing.
No. Next, we have Raw Underground. This one has Dolph Ziggler, Riddick Moss, and then we get Braun Strowman plowing through them. Now, so Braun Strowman comes from SmackDown, comes up to Raw Underground. So I guess he's so mad that's the place to be. And
don't worry about the Raw Championship.
No, don't worry about
forget the belt. I'm going to go to Raw Underground.
Yeah, it's so Michael Cole kind of does a real passive announcement. It says, I guess anybody can come, to Raw Underground. So I guess Raw Underground is anybody from any brand's allowed to come to Raw Underground now. So it's a multi-branded. It's called Raw Underground, but it's multi-branded, I guess.
Hey, and what good's a security guy when Bronca just
dog
talk to him? Yeah, I'm going to dog talk to you right now, security man.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
Really? What's good to have the security guy? Shane, you're standing right there.
Right. Yeah. Although he was towering over Braun. So
by about 7 inches.
Right. Yeah. So I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of Braun being on Underground. The only thing I did like, and we'll get to it a little bit, is when they did have Dabba-Kato kind of, eye him a little bit and have a face-to-face, and it kind of went to next week. But I'm still waiting for the payoff of Raw Underground. I still don't.
They may be doing that because I think they're going to bring that big guy up to SmackDown or something.
Yeah, I hope so.
I mean, because anymore, SmackDown's kind of like the flagship show anymore because, that's the prime time on Fox, right? I mean, so that's the big dog. And, and you got Roman up there as a heel. And then if you need an underneath heel for Braun to beat somebody, well, there he is. Because he still needs to learn anyway, right? So you have him come out there and look really good against Braun, and then 2 or 3 matches down the road, Braun lays him out, says, "Okay, Roman, you're next." You know what I mean? And you can work it that way.
Yeah, I'm hoping that, like I've said this before, I think Raw Underground would make sense if it's actually building a up and comer. So if they were building Dabba-Kato, I'm fine with that. But you still having Dolph there, you still having Titus O'Neil getting choked out. You know what I mean? Just I just don't. Riddick Moss, coming out. He's like the little engine that could Scrappy Doo, mixed together. You know what I mean? Keep coming back with Braun. So it's just weird.
Yeah, I don't know how long they expect this Raw Underground thing to go.
Yeah,
it's already kind of living its life.
Oh yeah,
and the key with something like this is to let it choke itself out before it gets to be too long. You know what I mean? And I think we're approaching that time. Okay, fans are kind of getting over it already.
Yeah,
they either want to hear good promos or they want to see good wrestling.
Yep. Next we get a backstage segment with Drew McIntyre, and Keith Lee comes in, talks about spinning, and this leads to a fight between the two.
That was a horrible fight.
Yeah, I agree. It was.
It looked like a cat fight, bro. Stop it. Right. Come on. You got the biggest guy in the business, Keith Lee, and you got the big world heavyweight champion there, and nobody's doing nothing.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like the segment. I didn't think it was necessary for them to get into a fight.
Why? There's nothing there.
Yeah, they're both babyface.
There's no history.
Yeah.
What you're trying to do is they're trying to say, okay, well, for the last match, we're going to let Keith go in there, who's a babyface, attack our champion.
Yeah.
And then we're going to see if that helps draw viewership for the last 10 minutes. No, it didn't. No. Check the numbers. It may have even went down.
Yeah.
Because they know Keith Lee going into that match is not going to walk away with the belt.
Exactly. Yeah. I didn't like it. I wasn't a fan of it. I don't think it was necessary.
No, I don't know if you could tell too, man. To me, it looks like Keith Lee is being a little bit reserved.
Yeah.
Is he holding back? It looks like he's holding back,
especially from NXT.
Yeah, man. NXT. I was watching it. I used to say, man, this guy's going to be a killer up on the Raw roster, But now he's holding back, and I don't see that same fire. Maybe it's because he's doing job after job after job after job since Randy. I mean, he did beat Randy that one time, but still. Everything else is kind of moving
toward the back, though. He's still, like I said, he's still kind of moving toward the back. I just, he's still kind of like the filler guy. You know what I mean? And you just don't do that to someone like you. For someone who looks like Keith Lee, he should not be in this position. He should be killing people every single week. You know what I mean? Like Dolph Ziggler, just whoever, Akira Tozawa. You know what I mean? Just a Mojo Rawley or something like he should just be he should be plowing through people every week.
She'd even give him 2 smaller guys and let him beat both of them together.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. 2 of the ninjas, 3 of the ninjas, you know what I mean? Like just
I agree with you 100%. That's the way
just have him plow through them, look like a star. And
you let him beat all guys and stand there with all 3 laying and just pretty much then do his deal, And let him stand there looking like King Kong in the ring.
Yes,
that's what you need.
Yeah, but he's doing all this 50-50 stuff. It's like he's getting an advantage. He's getting beat up. It's just too much. He doesn't look like a standout monster. Like
whenever you start getting 50-50, it starts to go downhill. I'll tell you who's great at doing that was when we would wrestle the 4 Horsemen or the Midnight Express. We were getting 70 to 80% of the match. But when they got that 20, they made it mean something. They turned it up a gear, went crazy. Oh man, they were nuts on us.
Yeah.
And then we would squeak one out. No clean finishes, ever hardly. We never did our finish on them because we didn't need to.
Yeah.
They were that good of heels, and that's what they need to get back to building, man. Those kind of heels, and then have the babyface built the same way. If you're going to build someone hot as a heel, you got to build that babyface even hotter.
Yes.
So it means something, So the chase is on, and people go, okay, you know what's going to happen now? It's going to hit the fan.
100%. Yep, absolutely. So next we get the Raw Underground we talked about with Braun Strowman and Riddick Moss and Tyson getting choked out. Just they're making that guy look like a chump, man. For as big as he is, Florida Gator football man.
Yeah, I know, man.
6'4", 6'5", 260. He looks like he looks like a monster. But they just keep making him look like a chump, man. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. Titus must have pissed somebody off somewhere down the road.
But here's the crazy part. He's from what I've heard. I got a lot of friends in the back. I know you do too. He's big ambassador. The Father of the Year and all that. And it's like it just doesn't make sense. Like WWE uses him for all the Father of the Year stuff. But when it comes to like wrestling booking, they make him look like a chump.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, we don't know what goes on in the inner workings. Maybe some of the stuff, the ancillary stuff he's doing on the side and doesn't tell the office until after the fact. They get really bent on a shape with that, and they'll make you pay this way.
Yeah.
With stuff we don't hear. I mean, that's just. I mean, I can tell you that from experience with Hawk and I. I mean, every time Hawk did something wrong, we were jobbing for somebody.
Wow, that's nuts. So we get Kevin Owens versus Aleister Black. So the lights flicker. Aleister Black, the heel, gets distracted. So you build up all this. This is just weird booking. It just seems like they're real. Talk about throwing everything to the wall. It seemed like they were doing all this to compete with Monday Night Football. I mean, I'm a Titans fan, so I was watching, and I still am, just the Titans versus the Broncos on another screen, because I was so disinterested with Raw, but it seemed like they were trying to do everything they possibly can, including the cage match, to compete with Monday Night Football. But it's like, you have Aleister Black turn heel for the first time in his WWE career against Kevin Owens, and it leads to the payoff is lights flickering from Retribution, and it distracts the heel and allows Kevin Owens to get the stunner and win. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Man. Listen, I'm, as you know, right? My son James played 8 years in the league. I love football. When I was younger, I was a junior college All-American guard and linebacker. Got timed by Dallas and Green Bay. So football is one of my loves, man, one of my passions, and so is wrestling. Right now, I don't like what either one of them are doing. See, here's my view on sports and pro sports. And this is coming from a lot of psychologists, right, that I've talked to, too, about it. With this kind of mind, you've been to a lot of psychologists. In our society, especially today, sports is a release. It's a way to get away from everyday mundane stuff, get away from what's going on in society, get away from the riots, get away from, bad police, get away from all these protests, get away from everything. And then, J.J. Watkins on there last Monday night, you wonder why the fans are booing. They're booing because your two teams are supposed to hate each other. I understand why they're doing it in their mind to show solidarity. I get that. But fans look at it like, oh, the Texans hate the Chiefs. They don't even want to be on the same field with them. They'll talk after the fight. And that's why people are booing. With their society, with everything going.
I hope that was it, because that was just.
Yeah. I don't think they were booing the premise of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I don't think they were booing that. That's not the premise of it. I think they were booing, hey, we want to see football. We don't want you to show us politics on the field. Because I think what you saw the ultra negative reaction that LeBron and those guys got in the NBA. Ratings went down in the toilet. Sponsors are dropping off like crazy. NFL's flirting that same line. Sometimes you have to separate. I just think if the athletes want to do it outside, do it away from the game, not during the game. Because because people sometimes, especially the people that get to go in to watch the game, some of them are spending $500,000 a ticket to go watch. Man, I want to watch football. I don't want to watch you lock arms with somebody. I want to watch football. And that's, to the fan, I think I'm trying to think as a layman here, the fan. You know what I mean? Because listen, you're not going to find anybody. I said this on Facebook. I believe just as much in Black Lives Matter as anybody. Some of my best friends in the world, between Papa Shango and Ron Simmons, and are black guys. I don't care. I talk to black guys more than I talk to white guys, to be honest with you, because I'm just that kind of guy. I was raised that kind of way. I was raised that way, an inner city kid in Philadelphia. I didn't know the difference. So that's why I look at it that way. Maybe I look at it different maybe than some hillbillies from Alabama. I'll tell you that. I mean, I know I do, because I got friends that are down that way, But, it's just, I just think that people just got to realize people are people, man. You know what I mean? That's if I'm preaching to anybody, that's what I'm saying. People are people. Yeah. And everybody needs to be learned. Everybody needs to have respect.
Oh yeah, respect is certainly most important. People should respect people,
Absolutely. And everybody's got a right to their point of view, just like the stupid thing like the Trump hat, or someone has Black Lives Matter, like Keith Lee had the Black Lives Matter on the back of his shirt. If that's what he wants to wear, let him. What's he hurting?
Right.
What's anybody hurt? It's not hurting anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree with that. Yeah, I think it's one of those things, because nowadays, Kroger's I heard, I was at the gym today, and Kroger's making people, take their BLM.
That's stupid. That's stupid.
Yeah, taking their mask off and all that stuff, and I just, it's like, it's it's dumb. You know what I mean? Like
that is so dumb. I can't even believe that. See, that only makes you laugh. Some of this crap makes me laugh. It's so ridiculous.
I mean, as a black man, I have to laugh before I, touch a wall. And sometimes, it's just,
listen, I feel you, man. It's
it's one of those things that. We don't want to get too far into this, but I just think at the end of the day, it's like, I think solidarity is very important. I think unification is very important. We saw this with Martin Luther King. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what he wanted. You know what I mean?
Maybe I think of it too. I'm blessed, and I'm blessed in the fact that I'm owner of a timber company in Western Africa, part owner. Mm-hmm. So I have a different perspective on the African American culture. Mm-hmm. African culture per se, because it's Africa, that a lot of people have, because when you go there ain't no black and white. You know what I mean? It's so hard to explain. It's such a common respect for human life and human beings, man. That's why I lived there for 4 years. No one saw me do any appearances, because I was living there for 6 months, home for 1, 6 months, home for 1, 6 months. Yeah, I did that for 4 years.
Nice.
And we had one time 150 employees. Hell, I got yelled at by the government over there in Liberia for paying my workers too much.
Oh, really?
Well, no, they were literally would work for 50 cents an hour. I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're not working for that. Because the same stuff that they were wearing was stuff I had, the Nikes and everything else. I said, listen, I know what they cost. You can't buy those for 50 cents an hour. So I mean, so we were paying, I think our minimum guy was like $350 a month for working part-time, and we got yelled at. Yeah.
Wow.
We worked it out. We came to a happy medium, Yeah.
Because
my philosophy is, hey man, good pay, good work. That's just the way it works. I mean, that's what makes the ball go round.
Make what you earn.
That's it.
Yeah, hard work pays off. It should be.
That's like it. Hey, listen, that's why you and I get along good. That's why our ratings are going through the roof with this. We got listeners tuning in like crazy. I love doing this. Yeah, I'm glad to see those UK listeners and the Nova Scotia and the Newfoundland listeners, and listeners out in California and stuff. This is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Next we get Riot Squad defeating Natalya and Lana. So here's the spot.
Bro, I'm talking off camera, and I'm going to cover my eyes in this.
So of course,
that's how bad it was.
We expected Natalya and Lana to get the job. We expect them to do the job, but because they're supposed to look, make Riot Squad look good, because they're the number one contender. So we knew that. So what made it even worse was Natalya gets attacked, and then Lana gets attacked. They kind of throw they throw Natalya toward the ring post.
Yeah.
Then they have their way with Lana, and so Baszler has her thing, does her thing, throws her out to Nia Jax, and then just to make Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax look more, terror like they don't need it, but
Yeah.
they just so happen to choose Lana out of it's just so coincidentally they chose Lana.
The sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, the sacrificial lamb. Just coincidentally, Lana was the one to have the big bump, the Samoan drop through the table. Interestingly enough, that last Wednesday, somebody debuted as the best man on AEW Dynamite. He cut a promo about the brass ring, and
I love it. It was a good promo he did too.
It was a good promo. I agree.
I liked it, man. I watched the whole show. It was great. It was great to see him come out there. I mean, Miro looked good. He's in great shape.
Yeah.
I think sound mind, sound body attitude, right? So he's sound in his mind right now. You can tell he's been in the gym working out. And maybe this is the message that his wife's gonna follow. I mean,
well, she resigned as far as I read. She still got some time on her contract, but it seems like, you know how it is. You know how petty Vince can be, and it seems as if she's going to take bumps every week now.
There was one other top guy, what's his name? Moxley. His wife's job went in the toilet after he left. No more backstage stuff, no more promo stuff. And the next thing you know, her contract was up and she gave her notice. I mean, So now she's going too. So listen, it's got to be hard when you have a husband and a wife in two different companies.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of pressure on you there, But I think Rusev probably didn't get quite treated right anyway.
Oh no.
I thought he was better talent than that. I think that, the Bulgarian Brute, they had something really going there, and then they just try to change them too much.
His Cena feud is what tanked him, I think. In the beginning, he was US champ, he was undefeated, he was just putting everybody in camel clutches. It was great. He looked like a monster.
Yeah, and to have a foreigner be your U.S. champ. That's right. Heat. That's heat right there.
Absolute heat. And then he starts feuding with Cena, and then the Mania match, and he loses, and he just tanked. I mean, Cena's one of the hardest working men in WWE history. He work ethic is through the roof. I'll give him that. But if you think about Rusev, Bray for a while, Wade Barrett, Alex Riley, Wade Barrett. There's a Ryback. There's a lot of guys, at least a half dozen. I just counted about a half a dozen people who had they were reaching that pinnacle, and then they get into a feud with Cena, and then
nosedive. It's like a head first dive in the pool. You're going down to the bottom right away. Well, that's the thing. It was kind of the kiss of death.
Yeah,
you wish to get that championship match, but then you wish you weren't in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because you wish you got there for one match, and then after that, you wish you'd never been there before because nothing good is going to come of it.
It tanked, man. Yeah, it tanked, and it's sad too. You could tell that Miro, like you said, like you could tell that he feels good now. He feels like liberated, like Moxley did.
Yeah. And I mean, to be honest with you, that was the high point of that show because that show wasn't really feeling it that good, last week. And I mean, the one before, Chris Jericho called himself the million person show, because the audience was like 1 million people, and that was right after a pay-per-view, so it should have been good. I mean, it should have been good. But man, it's I'm happy for him. I'm happy now there's a place for people to go under the one company. Reminds me of the old NWA days or WCW days with WWF. So now I'm glad there's another company. There's a couple smaller companies that are still hanging around like Impact and Ring of Honor that aren't really doing much. Probably, I think Ring of Honor is probably a little bit stronger than Impact right now. But, hopefully they'll grow. Yeah. I mean, that company that I'm working with, the SWE, I'm help producing that company down there in Dallas. They have 149 outlets. They're on Fight TV. Nice. And they signed a big deal with a network. And, we have girls come in like Jordan Grace comes in there and Thunder Rosa comes in. And, man, Jazz is in there. Training up. She's getting ready to retire. Tim Storm's involved. So, there's a lot of guys. And right now there's a rumor that we're going to be doing some stuff with the NWA. Nice. So, you never know what's going to happen.
Jazz would be a good manager for Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Jazz would be excellent.
Oh, yes.
You got a bald-headed black chick that knows.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah.
I looked at her the other day when I was doing TV down there like a couple weeks ago. I said, you just scared me walking back here. You're only 5'2", but you scare me walking around back here. I'm afraid you're going to grab my ankle and twist it.
Right.
Yeah. And her husband, Rodney, looks great.
Yeah.
He looks awesome right now. He and his partner I forget the name of the group, their name, but they have a great look to them as far as a tag team. They're the tag team champs down there in SCWE. And they look awesome.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, so my buddy Jason and Tom and Kevin down there, the owners of SW, man, they're doing a great job. Great guys to work for, man. And usually I go down there and text. It's always awesome. Nice. And Teddy Long is the general manager, and I'm his enforcer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's what's cool about it. Yeah.
That's
so
pretty cool. Yeah.
I get to see Teddy once a month at least, so that's great.
Yeah, he's going to put everybody in a tag team match, and he's going to put everybody against the Undertaker.
Yeah, bro. He calls me, leaves me a voicemail. Hit me back, player. That's all he says. And right away, I know who it is,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, a couple more segments left. We have Drew McIntyre going against Keith Lee. So we talked about the Raw Underground with Dabba-Kato. Maybe we'll see if this builds him up. And then the last segment was Drew McIntyre against Keith Lee. We get Retribution, and then they attack the baby faces. And then the heels come out, the Hurt Business. I guess, because they told Adam Pearce backstage, it's business, don't, take away those boys for men, this and that. So they help the baby faces against Retribution. They battle them out. They kind of hold their own for the most part. And then the baby faces get the Retribution, interestingly enough. And then they do a dive. Two the biggest men on Raw right now. They do a cruiserweight dive on Retribution, lays all of them out, including the Hurt Business, and the show ends with them, the baby faces, saving the day. Now, here's the thing. Okay, the baby faces saving the day. I'm cool with that. But at the same time, you don't hurt, not at the expense of the Hurt Business, though. You know what I mean? I think that this Hurt Business involvement to me made them look like baby faces. Like I wanted the Hurt Business to beat up Retribution. I'm cheering for the Hurt Business, and I should be booing them at all times.
They should be helping Retribution.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If they want to keep the heat, they should be helping Retribution, right? Why would you help them fight Retribution? I know they're trying to do the it's kind of like the old Road Warrior angle. I'll fight the good guys, I'll fight the bad guys.
Yeah.
That's what Hawk and I used to say in your promos. I don't care if you're kissing grandmas, I'm going to knock your teeth out. If you don't kiss grandmas, I'm going to knock your teeth out.
Yeah.
I mean,
you guys still had an you guys were unique baby faces because we know that at the end of the day, like people wanted to see y'all were baby faces. Yeah. People wanted to see y'all beat up people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They wanted to see. They knew some action was going to happen all the time, right?
Especially when it came to Arn and Tully, Flair. You know what I mean? Just Midnight. You know,
there you go. Your point exactly. When you got great heels,
exactly.
People want to see something, right?
Yep.
And you don't have to be the norm baby face, but if you are like Drew, I mean, you're right. To be honest with you, when I saw Retribution hit in the ring, I flicked it right on Fox News.
Yeah.
I said 3 hours of this, I could,
Yeah.
5 interferences by Retribution. I could only stand so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure 3/4 of the fans do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's getting old.
Mm-hmm.
It's not serving any purpose. Hopefully, they have some blow-offs against Retribution this pay-per-view. That's what they need.
Yeah. Yeah.
They need to have some blow-offs and have Retribution guys fighting because right now it could be here. And here's the reason why: your Retribution guys aren't that big of badasses, where it makes anybody be afraid.
Yeah.
They're like gnats.
Yeah.
Right now they're like gnats or mosquitoes. Yeah. You just want to swat them and get them out of here.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? They're not really, all they're doing is getting people pissed off because they're going, oh man, I'm watching the match. I want to have the match go on. What's the heck with Retribution? That's more, every time I have people over here watching, that's what they're saying.
Right.
If I have my grandson in here who's 9, he goes, Pop, I don't want to watch those guys with the black hoods fight.
Right.
They don't want to see it.
Right.
And that's part of their target audience is the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's who buys the lunch boxes and the underwear and the pillowcases.
Right.
Not me. It's the kids. Right. And then they have Retribution on there that doesn't mean anything. And when you have people, I don't know, we've gone over this before. When they're spray painting there and putting tag marks on things and stuff like that, it just sends the wrong message, even to society. And I'm against it. I mean,
Yep.
That's just me.
Totally understand.
Because you got to have a blow-off match pretty soon. Someone's got to get to him.
Yeah.
And you're right. I agree with you. MVP and the guys should not have had to be fighting against Retribution. They should have stood there with their hands on the hips and went like this. Have at it, and turned around and walked away.
Yeah, exactly.
They would have got more heat walking away.
Exactly. And then if you want to do the babyface spot, I'll be okay with it because the Hurt Business,
sure.
they look at them. They just walk away, and then the Retribution turns around, and then you do the babyface spot with them, what they leap over. That's a lot better. You know what I mean?
Sure. Exactly, man. That's exactly.
All right. So what grade would you give Raw as we end up?
Oh boy, that's a tough one.
So out of 10. So just what out of 10?
Yeah, I can't give it a 10 for sure. I've not seen a 10 show in a long time. And with that Raw Underground and what they're doing with Keith Lee right now and stuff like that, and I don't know, man, maybe like a 7. I don't want to be too hard on them.
Yeah, it was a 6 for me this week because there was just some really dud spots. It
was dull. I was going to say that too, man. It was a dull night. Yeah. I was going to go 6.5, but I didn't want to give anybody a 6.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of dull spots and a lot of stuff that didn't make sense. And it seemed like a very forced show.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? A very forced show.
Yep.
Yeah. See, there's other people giving them 5s and 6s I see on the screen.
Yep. Dale said 3.
Ooh, way to go, Dale. That's an honest man right there. Way to go.
All right, man. You got a show coming up this.
No, man. I was supposed to be at the Double Ireland Comic-Con this weekend, man, and they canceled it out.
Oh,
well, no one from the U.S. is allowed to fly into the U.K. yet. I mean, even though they have flights, unless you're a foreigner flying through the United States, you can't go to the U.K. Mm-hmm. And if you do go there, they're making you quarantine for 14 days when you get back.
Yeah. You got one with Memphis too, right?
The 26th.
Okay.
Yeah, the Jerry Lawler dedication. Okay. September 26th. Yeah, I'll be down there. I'll be down there with Sergeant Slaughter, and I'll see all the guys down there.
Have Lawler come next Monday, man, and make a surprise appearance.
Yeah, we should promote that. I'll give Jerry a call. See if he wants to help promote that thing.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
Yeah,
man.
with all the great listeners we have, we definitely could help the show.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's been a pleasure as always, man. Another successful week talking Raw, and it's been fun, man, as always.
All right, man. Thanks, Chris. Hey, all fans out there, oh, what a rush.
Another episode of Legion of Raw. Have a good night, everybody.